Hey everyone, it's Sarah from Sassy Reads, and today I am going to film the first video in my new series called Book Chats, and I'm excited about it. Today we're going to talk about some thrillers, suspense novels, mystery novels, all in that umbrella of creepy, crawly, what's going on in this. Basically, are we going to solve the case or not? That's what we're talking about today. So, the first book I want to talk about is a kind of hot topic author within the thriller, mystery, suspense genre. Her name is Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is pretty well known. I have never read a Ruth Ware novel, so this is my first time. I chose to listen to this novel in audiobook instead of reading it physically, because I find that I like to kind of get into my thrillers through listening, but I also do love to read them, because sometimes, just turning the page or flipping my little Kindle, it's exciting. But The Death of Mrs. Westaway is an interesting thriller. I wouldn't call it a thriller. It's more of a mystery novel with a high level of gothicness to it. Follows a woman named Hal, who reads tarot cards for a living and loves to scam people. She doesn't believe in anything that she reads to people, but the people who come to her believe in her. And she has found herself in quite the pickle because, well folks, a big scary man who sounds horrifying on the audiobook wants to break her legs. I'm not even talking this to hype it up. It's scary. He has this deep raspy voice and he's like, I want to get this money from you, and it's like, no, and then he's threatening her. So it's scary, folks. Probably scarier than anything that actually happened at the end of this novel. But so what happens is, she ends up getting contacted by somebody who's like, hey, your dead relative, Mrs. Westaway, is saying that you have a claim to her estate. You need to come down here. And she gets sucked into the Westaways family drama. And she's like, I am scamming these people. Or is she? Is she connected to the Westaways, truly? Was her mother who she claimed to be? What is going on? What is the case here? Who are the Westaways? And who is Hal? And why can she not escape this place? So yeah, that's what this novel's about. It's creepy. It's got great drama built up. So I do recommend it for narration with that, because I feel like it really set the tone for me. However, I'll just be real, the reason I don't really like this novel was because the payoff at the ending was so unsatisfying. I listened to it and I was like, that's it? So I gave it 3 stars because I like the build-up, I like the atmosphere, I like the tone, I like the themes that were kind of being explored slightly by Ware, but it just didn't pack a punch. It was very misleading, and overall, folks, it could have been done better. So, was my first Ruth Ware novel a bust? No, absolutely not. I do recommend it, and I think fans of Ruth Ware will absolutely enjoy this, and people who like gothic literature will also really enjoy this, because it's a nice take on it, modernly. Yeah, that's about it. So let's talk about the next novel. Okay. We're going to talk about it, you guys. We're talking about You by Caroline Kepnes. Now this, you guys, folks, this right here is one of the best thrillers I had the privilege of reading last year. My Lord, have mercy. This audiobook, you want to talk about unsettling, you want to talk about disgusting, you want to talk about creepy, you want to talk about horrifying. What better place to start than You by Caroline Kepnes? So this, if you don't know, follows a man named Joe who runs a bookstore, and one day he sees You who goes by Guinevere Beck, and he becomes obsessed with You. He wants to know You. He wants to be with You. He wants to see You forever. And he will do anything to make sure you are his. Yeah. It gets dark. There is some very unsettling things here. The TV show was great. I really liked the last episode. Have some issues with the way that they approach the ending, because I much preferred the book ending. just because it's a lot. Especially if you're going to listen to the audio. Prepare yourself, folks. It's a lot. But You is just so masterfully written. The second person narrative that Kepnes has decided to take really draws the reader. And if you're listening, you're going to get really scared. Don't walk to class. Don't walk around. Don't do anything with earbuds in, because he is unsettling to hear. And I just cannot recommend this novel enough. Like, it chilled me to the bone. It freaked me out. It made me feel excited about reading again. There was just something about it that was so addictive in quality and real and creepy, horrifying humanity. And I love that. This is what I look for in thrillers and horror and novels in general. And this is why You is just one of the best novels that I had the privilege of reading last year. And I can't recommend it enough. I am flabbergasted. It took me forever to read. This has been on my TBR for forever. I bought this at Books A Million probably like in 2016 or 15. It's been some time. Maybe it was even Barnes & Noble. I don't know. I got it in a bargain, so that's why it's a good hardcover. I did not pay full price for this, you guys. But Lord, I love, like, just the book itself is creepy to look at. Which is why I never wanted to be seen in public with it open, because I was like, somebody gonna think I'm crazy. So naturally I read it in public, because let's just be real. Sometimes you gotta shake things up. So yeah, I recommend the book. I recommend the TV show. It's a wild ride. I have not read the sequel yet, so don't spoil me. I'm going to get to it. Hopefully through audio format, but if I can't, I will be willing to purchase my own copy of Hidden Bodies, or Hidden Bodies, I think that's called. So yeah, definitely a fan of this one. The next book I want to talk about is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Hinton. So this is another book that kind of convinced me to pick it up. I was privileged enough to receive an ARC from NetGalley and the publishers, so thank you so much for that. This was one of my most hyped and anticipated books of the last half of the year. And boy, was it something. So we follow a man who wakes up in a body, and he knows he's a man, which is interesting psychologically that he could do that, because he doesn't know whose body he's in. And then he wakes up another day, realizes he's in somebody else's body, and then he's in another body, and then another time. And every time he falls asleep, he finds himself in another body. It is revealed to him that he has to uncover the unsolved death that is not actually a suicide, but is a murder of Evelyn Hardcastle. And he has a set number of time to do it, and he also has competitors, so if they get to the case before him, well, he's in a pickle. So, this is what this novel's about. It's gotten a lot of attention, especially on BookTube, and the blogosphere. I've seen a couple book bloggers talk about it as well, but my hopes were dashed. I wanted to love this novel so much, you guys, and it did not do it for me. I am so painstakingly heartbroken by it. I give this novel 2.25 stars. I have a full-length review for it, so I will leave that link down below if you want my full-fledged thoughts. But overall, wasn't a fan of the character development, wasn't a fan of the writing. I did enjoy the last half when the mystery was starting to unravel, because I was like, interest peaked. But it didn't hit the spot for me. And so this is where I've hit the kind of like a kerfuffle with this novel, because like the concept was so good, the execution was so poor. Not a bad novel, and I think so many people will love it because, like I said, it's gotten a lot of attention. But that's just my opinion. So let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on these books. Let me know what thrillers I should pick up. Bye, and don't forget to subscribe. Happy reading!